Hey guys, welcome to week 2 of our online learning. I'm coming to you live pre-recorded from the Drake Bird Sanctuary. Let me give you the tour. There it is. So this is probably one of the quietest places that I have again because my kids are inside playing very loudly. But what I wanted to do first and foremost this week, the week of April the 6th through April the 9th, remember Friday is supposed to be our holiday, start of spring break. But what I wanted to do this week is to go over some expectations for our quarter 4 because we're starting new content this week. And so the first thing that I wanted to make sure that you're aware of is to expect the unexpected. You'll see that on your screen. So we had a lot of changes last week, and I'm sorry about that, but I appreciate you guys being flexible. I was very proud to see that so many of you guys are logging into Canvas. You're asking questions, so I'm hoping this week will go even more smoothly than last week did. So let's go over a couple of things really quickly. Number 1, I'd like for you guys to be flexible. Things may change. So that means number 2, you're going to have to check Canvas frequently. I'd prefer you to take a look at it every day, to log into our Canvas homepage and to take a look. Even though you might not be working on our class content every day, just to take a look in case there's some announcements or something that you might need to see on Canvas. Number 3, assignments. All assignments need to be submitted to Canvas. This is, it can be a problem if you're sending me emails with your assignments because sometimes they can wind up in my spam folder or I just might overlook them, to be perfectly honest. So everything needs to go into Canvas. So if you send me your assignment through email, it's just not going to be graded this week. However, I don't want to discourage you from asking questions through email. That's what our email is supposed to be for. So if you have any questions about your assignments, please email me. The second part of that is that you must submit using your student account. This past week, we had a couple of situations where I couldn't access student work because someone or a couple of people have submitted their assignments using their personal account instead of their student account. You might not realize you're doing that, so double check and make sure that you're in your student account. And then, of course, the last part of number 3 there, letter C, if you choose to print and handwrite your assignments, you can do that. I don't want to discourage you from doing that. Some people would rather do that. So if you would like to do that, just take a picture or scan it and then upload that to Canvas. And of course, if you have any trouble with that, let me know. And then on our screen for number 4, please be mindful of due dates for our assignments because what I do, if you notice on the assignments, is that I have a lock day. That's the due date and time. For this week, all of our actual assignments are going to be due on Thursday, April the 9th by 3 p.m. Now, the exception is the county assignment. I'm going to leave that open until Friday, April the 10th at 11:59 p.m. But once those assignments in Canvas lock, then you will not be able to submit those. And again, if you have questions, send me an email. For number 5, maintain positive netiquette at all times. We went over this last week, but I want to stress this one more time. Netiquette is your behavior online. So let's go over what that means exactly. So to maintain positive netiquette, remember that your class members are people like you who deserve the same appreciation and respect as you do. So anytime we're doing a discussion, please remember that, keep that in mind. Letter B says your messages should reflect you. Take the time to make sure that you're proud of their form and their content, so check your spelling. And then for D, consider your tone. Writing and comments should be clear and straightforward. Sometimes, as you've seen, of course, with our social platforms or social networks, without hearing the words and actually seeing the body language, because most of our communication comes through body language, your intentions may be misinterpreted, so be aware of that. And, of course, letter E, I didn't know this until probably about maybe 2 years ago. To emphasize text, don't put all of it in capital letters. It's like shouting. So you can use an asterisk before or after the emphasized text, or you can italicize that. And then speaking of positive netiquette, let's talk about academic integrity. This is pretty important for us, especially on an online platform. So it's incredibly important that you're aware of academic honesty and integrity. And so I want you to understand that this is school, so consequences will still be applied if you are not maintaining academic integrity. So that's collusion. So if you are doing half and your neighbor is doing half and then you exchange the work or you're copying someone else's work, none of that is allowed. If you have questions, I would prefer you come to me directly instead of asking another student about an assignment or a question that you have. that's what I'm doing all day. Literally from 8 to 2, I'm sitting around waiting for my ding on my computer to let me know that I have an email. So you cannot copy or share your work if tasks are individual assignments. I would like to get to the point where we can do some group work online, but for right now, most of our tasks are going to be individual assignments. So please, please let me emphasize letter C on number 6. If you're having trouble with an assignment, please email me. I am here to help you. That's what I'm going to do. And then letter D, I try to manipulate our Google Docs or any Google Sheet, any of that we use, where it forces you to make your own copy, but be sure that you're saving your assignments. And then number 7, I'm going to stress this one more time. Ask me for help. Email me with your questions or concerns. Sometimes students will start an email with, "I'm sorry to bother you," but don't worry about that. That's what I'm here for. I'm getting a paycheck to literally just sit and wait on you guys to ask me questions. So I check my email frequently, again, between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. And if you send an email, this is pretty important because we ran into a problem last week, do not use the ST in the address. So, for example, if you had T. Jefferson 1776 at st.cabarrus.k12.nc.us, you can send me an email, but I can't reply to that. I don't know why. I don't want to ask why. So your email should look like this that you see on your screen. T. Jefferson 1776 at cabarrus.k12.nc.us. Then not only can I get your email, but I can also reply to it, which is pretty important. And if I don't reply to your email, send me another email, at least by the next day, because I try to answer emails between 8 and 2 that day. So you're not bothering me, but again, it might be in my clutter box. Something might have gone wrong. So please double check that and send me another email. And then the last point for 7C, if you have questions about navigating Canvas, please email me. Or if you want to look it up yourself, there's a link for questions for a Canvas student guide. And so it's there online and available for you to take a look. Okay, so in summary of this small presentation for the week of April the 6th through April the 9th, 4 days this week, yay! So check Canvas frequently to make sure that there's nothing that's changing, or if it is changing, that you're aware of that. I'll also try to push that out through Remind if we do have any changes. Watch the intro video like you're doing now. Sign up for Remind. I'm going to try that for my civics class and for my Honors American History 1 class. So I'm hoping that it'll work, so please be patient with me as I try to navigate that. Be aware that some assignments that you're doing this week may ask you to join our class on another website like Quizlet, for example. So I've set up our class on Quizlet. For civics, I also have a class on something called PlayPosit for American History 1. Do the assignments. All of them are due Thursday, April the 9th at 3 o'clock p.m. Then the assignments will lock. I have a checklist near the top of our homepage that may be helpful to some of you to help keep track of your tasks. That does not mean that you have to turn the checklist in to me. That's just for you to keep track of what you're supposed to be doing this week. The county assignment is due by Friday, April the 10th at 11:59 p.m. I want to remind you to maintain your academic integrity. It's really important because we have websites like Turnitin that we can submit them to check for similar answers. And then last but not least, ask questions. Again, I'm sitting around from 8 to 2 just waiting for my computer to ding with an email. Even if it's just to say hi and keep in touch, I'd like to hear from you. So let's get started on our work for this week. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you guys have a great week.